I got a haircut.
Welcome to the D&D world.
Hey everyone, this is Dave on CRPG Dungeons & Dragons Night, and we are at Legends, Comics, and Games. We're going to go inside, check it out, see what they're up to, and maybe learn something. And you are?
Roman?
And what do you do here?
I'm the manager for the Clovis location of Legends Comics and Games.
And how many locations do you have?
We got two. We got this one on Clovis and Shaw, and then we got the original store, which is on Blackstone and Barstow over in Fresno. About a 15-minute drive from here.
And I remember you guys used to be over at the Sierra Vista
So this
for
is
a
a
long
location
time.
that was at Sierra Vista for a couple of years, and then our Fresno location used to be at the Fashion Fair Mall. So we were in the process of moving the Fresno store to its current location from the mall, and then we had to start moving our Clovis location from the mall into the mall at the same time. So that was a fun time.
And then what was the reason for the move?
Chocolate place wanted our spot next to the theater, and the mall was like, you guys need to get out. You can either get out or we'll move you in the store. It's up to you guys, but since you guys aren't the ones breaking the lease, you won't have to pay the fee. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, that was nice of them. Yeah,
it was pretty awesome. So yeah, getting out of the mall was the best decision we made. It was always the plan to get out of the malls. I remember when I first talked to my boss about it before I worked for them. I asked him why in the mall, because it's really expensive. They take a percentage at the end of the year for how much you made, and you just got to follow a lot of strict rules. And they're like, the idea is to build a customer base, following, and then you just move and they move with you, and you get to make the rules. And that's the biggest thing. When I took over managing the Clovis location, I told them, like, I want to be able to open up whenever I want. I do a lot of midnight release events. We'll have after-hour gaming sessions, so like D&D, we do that every other Sunday.
and you can't really do that at a mall.
No, yeah, we don't have the space.
Yeah, I used to work at a pretzel maker over in Manchester, and we were always, they had the what do you call it? The storage room was on one side of the mall, but the store itself was at the other end, so we always had to go back and forth.
It was really
so when we're
frustrating
closing, they're always going, "Hey, we're closed. This is security," and we're going like, "Pretzel maker, you guys know we're here all the time. You're always telling us we gotta leave."
Yeah, that was the biggest frustration I was about to bring up. Was when we were inside the mall, the security guards would roll by like it's prison, like, "All right, get out." I'm like, "We still got customers. Like, they're ringing up. Like, don't be a jerk." That was one of the issues with the mall. We get a lot of freedom. We can make our own hours here. And again, I can open up whenever I want. There's a lot of times I'll come here on my own time to just get some paperwork done, or work on some side project or whatever.
Yeah, that definitely adds a little freedom. And I notice this does have a little bit more space to it than the other store too.
Yeah, a lot more space. So we're paying about the same amount realistically as the mall. Like, it's the same, lease. But again, freedom, space, ability to do whatever we want when we want. We just ran a midnight release event for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book. That was fun. We're gonna do probably another one when they release the new Ninja Turtles Naruto book. And then yeah, we do them for games all the time too. If it's a really big release, like we did last year, a midnight release for Shatterpoint and for 10th edition for Warhammer. So if it's a big enough game with enough following, we'll do midnight release events, which is fun.
Speaking of Warhammer, how does your tabletop go on a regular basis?
So we do miniature game nights every other Saturday usually. We've been running them a little bit more frequently right now just because I'm able to be here. Because we do them usually from 4 p.m. on Saturdays till midnight. We actually run after hours if there's still people playing. And it's anything miniature based, you can come hang out and play. We do a daily 10% off discount at our locations for board games and board game accessories for the most part. And when you're here at a game night, you actually get 15% off, so you get an extra 5% discount to that as well, just for participating and hanging out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how busy do you get on an average day?
It varies for the games. Like, if we're doing the game night, I mean, there's been points where it's just me and one of the guy hanging out and playing games. Everybody's got stuff going on, especially when school's running. A lot of the guys have to deal with their kids and stuff. But sometimes we'll have like more people than we have space, right? Like, we'll have 8, 9, 10 people trying to get in big games, or a bunch of people trying to get a bunch of small ones. So it varies. It really does depend on.
Did you have to turn anybody down?
No, we just tell them to hang out for a bit because the games will start and finish, right? So like we've been having a lot of players playing Crisis Protocol lately. That's only a 3x3 tabletop space, so you can fit 2 games, so 4 people on a double set of tables like we got. And those games don't last more than an hour usually, so they can kind of cycle through them a little bit faster. The stuff that we've definitely had to turn people away for in the past was when we had D&D game nights, because we only have like 4 sets of tables, and if there's 4 large groups, we can't really fit a 5th one. We try to make it work though. A lot of times I know we've had times where like certain games like card games or other miniature games, we'll just have them like on counters and stuff, but we'll make it work. We'll find a way to squeeze people in.
And speaking of D&D, when are your D&D nights?
It's every other Sunday. I don't know off the top of my head because that's the one that my coworker Dominique runs. He's in charge of that one. He's our manager for our Fresno location. We actually have a flyer over there next to the Tiamat banner with group details, and they'll run them after hours Sunday nights.
Okay. Give us just a second so they can get by. So, speaking of going back to comics, I should say, you said you did conventions.
Yeah, so we have a convention team that goes all across the United States to do set up at conventions. The most recent one we did was Charlotte, North Carolina. That was Heroes Con back in June. And then not this weekend, but the following one, we're going to be doing Power Morphicon down in Pasadena, SoCal. And that's going to be a biannual Power Rangers convention. We do really, really big Power Rangers conventions. We got a lot of Power Ranger exclusives that are only available at our store. We do pretty well with those. We're friends with a lot of the Power Ranger cast as well. We got them to come over to do signings ever since 2021 until now. We'll have a bunch of different Power Rangers at least once or twice a year come through and sign. So it's pretty fun.
Wanted to take a picture of that too. So, okay, so you're saying Dominic?
Yeah, Dom, he's our manager from our Fresno location. Yeah, he's the one who runs the D&D. He'll do that after hours on Sundays, every other Sunday. I just don't remember which days are on and off. That's on him. Just like my coworkers don't really know which days are on and off for the miniature nights, 'cause that's more on my schedule.
Right.
But yeah, he runs that. He has at least one group every session. But they'll have, if you have a group that wants to come and play and hang out, you can do that. And same thing, if you're here for those game nights, you get 15% off D&D.
And what's the charge to join in a game?
Free.
Absolutely free?
Yeah, everything's free. Yeah, we don't charge for anything unless it's like an actual organized play event where we're giving out product, stuff like that. So like tonight we're going to have, Friday nights we do Star Wars Unlimited, and then we give out pack per win. You get organized play packs, and you get actual product that costs money. So we charge entry fee for that. But yeah, if there's nothing, again, miniature game nights doesn't cost anything to come and play. We got Pokemon free play from noon to 4 on Saturdays, usually every week. That doesn't cost anything unless we're doing, again, something that gives out actual product. There'll be a pre-release event coming up soon. That one you get like a build and battle kit. Stuff that actually costs money. Those are usually about $25-$30 to participate.
Nice.
So you get product to take home. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you guys are open from what times?
So we're actually just changing our hours right now, coming this next week. But the way it's looking right now is Sundays noon to 4. So we got shortened hours on those days. We're going to be closing. So we're already closed Mondays. We're not open Mondays. We're going to start closing Tuesdays as well. And then we'll be open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 7.
Oh, so you're giving yourselves a weekend at the beginning of the week?
Pretty much, yeah. The 2 slowest days.
Well, I can understand that. I used to work at a company that did that. They used to shut down on Tuesdays because that was like the slowest day and no one was ever
It's really
showing
bad,
up.
yeah.
So
Monday again, and it's not just us. The Chinese restaurants close Monday. Like a lot of the stuff just shuts down Monday because it's not really a spending day out of the week. And then Tuesday's gotten a little too slow right now, especially with the summer. Summer slows things down. Well, hopefully around the holidays we'll start opening back up at least on Tuesdays just to make things easier. But yeah, for the time being, Monday, Tuesdays are.
And what's your biggest seller game stuff?
Oh man, that's hard to say because we actually got a lot of different stuff that sells really well. D&D was really, really hot for a long time, up until Hasbro started doing Hasbro things. I have really big issues with Hasbro being a lifelong Star Wars collector. And I knew the writing was on the wall for Wizards of the Coast when they tried to buy themselves back a few years ago, and Hasbro was like, "No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna squeeze every little dime out of you." And that's when you started seeing stuff like the OGL license, like agreements. They were trying to change that. They started trying to change it to all online only as well.
Yeah.
Already we have some issues with Wizards of the Coast, and again, it might be stemming from Hasbro.
Well, beware of the Pinkertons.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of that stuff. Well, and yeah, they're moving. The way they do business when it comes to like the D&D books as well is really scummy sometimes. So like our cost on a D&D book is $31, but you can go straight to their Amazon store, Wizards of the Coast Amazon store, and buy the books for $30. So they actually sell them to the end consumer for $1 less than we get it, which is frustrating. But when I tell people, that they're doing that because they want you to only buy stuff from them, and when there's no more competition, you gotta buy it from them, and it's all gonna go to digital only, and they're gonna charge you whatever they want. And they was like, "Oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. They would never do something so greedy." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're owned by Hasbro, which is the collectible version of EA, which does all the scummy stuff in the world."
Right. Yeah, they're trying to. What is it? They're trying to. I heard someone say it. Basically, they want to just have it to where you're, just buying everything bit by bit.
Yeah.
And you can't get it all at once like you used to.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunate. Again, we got a lot of really good customers. That's why we do the 10% off every day on board games. If you're shopping with us long term, you're going to save a lot of money. We also do the pre-order discounts. If you're coming in, you're pre-ordering books, you get 15% off. If you pre-order and you prepay, you get 20% off. The one cool thing we are able to get is the alternate covers, which a lot of people are fans of. So we'll order up more on those. And then people like getting a lot of that. We do pre-orders on the books. I've got probably 8 or 9 pre-orders for the new Player's Handbook coming out this year. We still got a good group. We got a lot of guys that like the miniatures and all that stuff. So I try to stock it. Before I needed to expand the paints, D&D was actually eventually going to take up this whole south side of the wall, but we need paints for the minis too. So they've hit an impasse right now. It's a immovable object meets an irresistible force, right? Like they're both going back and forth on what needs to get ordered next.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you for letting me visit your store.
Yeah,
and hopefully everybody watching this will come by and say hello, maybe buy a few things.
Awesome.